In-game, unforgiving world of the Woldberry Forest. A man is battered and bleeding, but his spirit refuses to break. Every ragged breath burns with the fire of his unbreakable resolve. He lets out a frustrated curse as the situation turns dire. Even after all that effort, his target still hasn't shown up. What should they do now? Talk about poor timing. The order is given. Take him down, no mercy. A massive, crushing blow descends with lethal force. Our hero barely reacts as the shadows of destruction loom over him. A chilling silence falls as the mysterious figure steps into the spotlight. The air crackles with lethal intent. A massive, bone-crushing axe descends with lethal intent. Our hero narrowly evades the strike, leaving his opponent swinging at empty air. The crowd screams his name. Jaehyun. It's Hurricane. Everyone rush him at once. There's no way he can handle all of us. A lethal flash of steel tears through the air as the hero strikes with devastating precision. His opponent is left defenseless, blood spraying as the battle turns in an instant. He scoffs at his pathetic foes, reminding them they simply aren't on his level. Hurricane, aka On Jaehyun, the legendary hero slayer, stands tall. Talk about a resume. His companion begs for forgiveness, terrified that their guild members were actually lying in ambush. Jaehyun cuts him off, refusing to let him take the blame. He tells his friend to get up, he's perfectly fine. He reminds them that their failure isn't even their fault, is it? He drops a cold truth bomb. She simply lacks the necessary skills. He turns to the others and asks if they finally get it, you bunch of dumbass. The enemy mocks their touching display of friendship, calling it overly sentimental. Even if all you trash players band together, nothing is going to change. Sir, the Queen of Thunder makes her presence known. She mocks the group, asking who keeps getting wiped out by trash every single time they charge in. Careful what you wish for. With a sinister grin, he clicks his device into place to activate his next deadly move. The game is officially on. The system glares as raw digital energy tears through the air. A lethal strike is unleashed with bone-chilling precision. The interface flickers with pure, unfiltered power. He laughs, claiming that only weaklings feel the fear his opponents are currently experiencing. The enemies, desperate and arrogant, scream for his death. He questions their ability to learn. Don't they realize they'll never be able to take him down? A cold, piercing gaze locks onto the target with lethal intent. There is nowhere left to hide. A hacking cough escapes his lips as the damage sets in. The blade strikes true, dripping with the crimson price of victory. No one escapes the cold steel's bite. His health is plummeting and his movement is restricted. He gasps, apologizing to Jaehyun for his betrayal. He claims they all have to make a living, so Jaehyun shouldn't take it personally. Jaehyun just scoffs, finding the entire situation hilariously pathetic. He bursts into a fit of laughter. The irony is just too much. He mocks them for being stupid enough to get caught up in a friendship fantasy when money is the only thing that actually talks. Hurricane vows to delete them from the game permanently. If he kills them every time they log in, they won't make a single bit of progress. He calls out the full-time gamer for being a worthless piece of trash with nothing going for him but this game. Talk about a low blow. He declares that they've crawled right back to being trash. The action is so fast it's just a blur of violence. He tells his opponent to keep his mouth shut once and for all. A brutal strike lands with lethal force. Blood sprays as the carnage begins. Blood stains his face as his eyes lock onto his target with lethal intent. The hunter has finally snapped. The scene is absolute chaos. He sarcastically thanks them all for the experience. He asks why they would do this to him after everything he gave for the guild. They tell him to just die already. They're getting paid millions to take him out. What did he expect? The screen fades as the fight reaches its peak. The digital world is ruthless, isn't it? He screams, asking if they didn't claim they were all family. The betrayal cuts deeper than any blade. The warnings flash across his screen, signaling the end. The system confirms his death, locking him out for 48 hours. He gasps for air in the real world, his heart pounding. The adrenaline is slowly starting to wear off. Welcome to Warlord, the game where your life is just a commodity. The live stream chat is exploding with thousands of dollars in donations. Imagine being this popular and hated at the same time. It's an AI-driven virtual reality game that generates insane amounts of real-world wealth. With a single lightning-fast strike, he carves through the monster's defense. Blood paints the air as his blade silences the beast for good. A bystander is stunned, asking for his level and calling him amazing. They immediately try to recruit him for a guild. He realizes that was the reality of his past life. The blade shatters upon impact, sending shards flying. A desperate defense has just been pulverized. He whispers that he forgives them for now. The tension continues to mount. He swears to find every single one of them and end them. He wonders why he went through all that hardship just so those bastards could live a good life without him. The red light burns as a heavy engine roars to life in the dead of night. Disaster is hurtling toward a collision course. He curses, realizing that if he had known the end result, he would have acted differently. He regrets caring about anyone else from the beginning. The truth is a bitter pill to swallow. A scream pierces the air as someone gets hit. The phone rings, but there's no answer, just the cold, automated voice of rejection. He struggles to catch his breath. He refuses to give up. He can't die like this. His thoughts are filled with hatred for the traitorous bastards. The voices of his killers echo in his mind, justifying their betrayal for money. The darkness begins to close in. He knows he has to do something, anything. It all rests on his shoulders now. A blinding surge of pure destruction erupts, obliterating everything in its path. Chaos reigns as raw power tears through the darkness. The system greets him. User, Herkin. The tutorial quest is clear. Survive against the labyrinth's master, the Minotaur. He wonders if this is really the world of Warlord. A tutorial quest? He's confused. He thought that was removed years ago. His teammates scream at him to snap out of it and focus. They have to take the beast down. He's still trying to process the reality of his situation. It looks like they'll have to tank the beast together. There's no way to solo this monster. He questions the timeline. Wasn't the Minotaur removed 5 years ago? His teammate looks at him like he's crazy, reminding him that Warlord only launched 10 months ago. 10 months? His mind is reeling. The teammate thinks he's an idiot, but he's just realizing the truth. The teammate gives the signal to move, but he's already acting. They scream after him, wondering where he thinks he's going. A sudden, blurred movement shatters the silence. The target is caught completely off guard by this lightning-fast strike. They yell at him, asking if he's lost his mind. His teammates are in total shock. They warn him he's going to die, but he doesn't care. The intensity of the fight is off the charts. A blinding, high-speed strike tears through the air. The atmosphere shatters under the sheer intensity of the blow. The dust begins to settle. He stands tall over his fallen foe. How did he take that monster down in a single blow? The system registers the impossible feat. His teammate calls out to him, completely stunned. He's just getting started. He admits he doesn't usually say this, but the guy has some serious talent. They offer him a spot in their guild. The battlefield falls silent as his eyes flare with a terrifying, blood-soaked intensity. There is no turning back now. Pure, unadulterated rage has taken control. He tells them he's already made a decision. They ask what could possibly be more important than joining them. The air is heavy with his cold resolve. A chilling, blood-soaked grin spreads across his face as the carnage hits its peak. The madness has truly taken hold. He declares he'll be a dog if he has to. Drenched in the blood of his enemies, he awakens a lethal, glowing intensity. The slaughter is only just beginning. The hero is reborn. He has returned from the past. The visor slides into place as he locks in for the ultimate showdown. It's go time. He surveys his surroundings. A V-Gear store? It brings back so many memories. He remembers being broke 5 years ago, playing on the showroom devices. Is this really happening? Has he truly regressed? The interface unit snaps into place with a sharp click. The gateway to a new reality is finally ready to launch. He bursts into motion, leaving his stunned enemies in the dust. With lightning speed, he makes his move. He has 5 years of future knowledge at his fingertips. If he uses it right, he can conquer everything. The bank account is ready for his next big move. The receptionist stammers, offering to help him with his request. He finally has the power he needs. He asks what he should focus on first, leveling up or something else. The receptionist offers a nervous smile as she hands over the critical pass. Everything hinges on this single card. Wait, is that it? He lets out a frustrated shout. He realizes he's broke. If he had the cash, he would have bought the gear already. He wonders how he can earn money fast before he falls behind. He asks himself what he's waiting for. The strong never fear a challenge. Hesitation is a luxury he can't afford. He aims to be the warlord overlord. He initiates the start of his journey. An ominous silence hangs in the air as our hero stares into the unknown. The tension is absolutely suffocating. He remembers the words, "You're back to being trash again." He acknowledges the taunt with a grim nod. Now isn't the time to wait around. It's time to act. A serene sunset bathes the rooftop in a crimson glow, hiding the secrets that lie within. The calm before the storm has officially begun. The sleek pod hums to life, signaling the start of a pulse-pounding journey. Everything is about to change. The V-Gear installation is complete. He's ready to dive in. The heart-stopping thud echoes as he tests his newfound strength. A dangerous power surges through his veins, and he's ready to unleash it. He finds a loan service for gamers, offering quick cash for those desperate enough. If you're enjoying this recap, smash that like button and subscribe for more. 10 million won? Of course he can get it. But wait, the situation takes a sharp, dangerous turn. A razor-sharp blade slams down with lethal precision, pinning the target in place. There is no room for error in this high-stakes game of speed. He's warned that if the debt isn't repaid, his life will become a living nightmare. He grits his teeth, bracing himself for the inevitable fallout. Pure rage explodes as a fist crushes the paper into nothingness. The tension is reaching a breaking point. He screams that he would gladly fall into hellfire itself. A digital hum fills the air as the connection stabilizes. He vows that if he could just get those bastards, he'd pay any price. With a determined shout, he forces the connection through. The system begins the verification process, scanning for the user's identity. Identity confirmed. The system identifies the user as Herkin. A grand welcome to the world of Warlord flashes across the screen. He wonders where his guide is, but right on cue, the tutorial completion message pops up. Arya 1 appears, ready to assist him in building his legendary career. That's the one. The person he was looking for has finally arrived. Pure power crackles at his fingertips, ready to be unleashed. A mysterious, golden energy pulses with dangerous intent. The system commands him to select his path from the 3 basic classes. 3 paths lie before him, each offering a different destiny. He knows the skills he chooses now will define his future as a powerhouse. The warrior class is suggested for those who crave frontline melee action. He's confident he can level up quickly given his past life, but solo play as a warrior is a grind he'd rather avoid. The cleric class is introduced as the support who keeps the party alive. He realizes that if he's skipping the others, only one dark path remains. A chilling smile curls as she channels raw, blinding power. The ritual begins and there's no turning back now. Pure, crackling energy surges from their fingertips as they unleash a devastating display of power. Destruction is imminent. Raw, celestial power surges through him. He's breaking his limits as the golden energy erupts. The system confirms his choice of class with a resounding chime. The world shifts as he is transported to the mysterious class tower. A weathered old sage welcomes the young seeker to the halls of knowledge. Golko, the guide to the mage class, waits to see what path the boy will choose. He is asked what magic he seeks, and he doesn't hesitate to demand the forbidden. Dark magic. A mysterious sage descends from the shadows, locking eyes with our hero in a tense, silent standoff. Who is this enigmatic figure guarding the forbidden library? The old man mishears him, thinking he wants earth magic, but he firmly corrects him. Dark magic is the only way. The sage is shocked, warning him that dark magic ruins the user's soul, but our hero stands unfazed. He knows the risks and demands the knowledge regardless of the consequences. The sage stammers, unable to believe someone would willingly walk this path. He's convinced this whole transition is going to go off without a hitch. The sage realizes the boy is serious about this dark calling. Vik arrives, surprised to see yet another brat attempting to master this cursed path. The challenge is issued. If he's truly ready, he must prove it. He is told to place his hand upon the ancient, forbidden skill book. The sage warns him that the choice he makes will haunt him forever. This path is supposedly too difficult for any ordinary punk to survive. He cuts the chatter, insisting he's no ordinary punk and ready to get things moving. The sage breaks into a cackling laugh, finding the boy's confidence absolutely hilarious. The sage recalls the legend of a single player who changed everything. He speaks of the infamous lone necromancer who walked this path before. A chilling aura erupts as the hooded necromancer awakens. Death itself stares back with burning, hollow eyes. He recalls the tale of a player who took down a boss entirely solo. A terrifying necromancer rises above the battlefield, commanding a relentless army of the undead. Darkness descends as the legion marches forward to crush everything in its path. He realizes that is exactly the kind of strength he needs. The burning desire for that kind of power consumes his every thought. The system message flashes. He has officially become a necromancer. He gains the title Necromancer Initiate and the skill Skeleton Fragment. A single, brittle bone fragment appears, the foundation of his future army. A chilling grin spreads across his face as dark, ominous energy swirls around him. The monster has finally revealed its true colors. With a mere flick of his fingers, he unleashes a spectral storm of blue hellfire. The battlefield erupts as his necromantic command shatters the silence. He learns that a skeleton warrior requires mana to manifest into reality. The mana cost is high, but the potential is limitless. He's locked in. He's going to be the greatest necromancer of them all. He's already thinking about the grind. He needs to find the training grounds immediately. His mana levels are steadily climbing, preparing for the first summon. Trapped in a labyrinth of forbidden knowledge, our hero comes face to face with a chilling, headless skeletal guardian. The air grows heavy with anticipation as they stare each other down in the silence of the library. Pure, crackling mana surges as he plants his feet, ready to unleash devastating power. The ground shatters under the weight of his overwhelming aura. He enters the beginner training dungeon, ready to test his new powers. This doesn't look like the weak skeletons he expected. What is happening here? He examines the skill window. His proficiency is low, but he can command minions if he infuses them with magic. He realizes his proficiency is the bottleneck and decides he needs to level up fast. Pure, unadulterated rage boils over. He's reaching his absolute breaking point. Right on time, a target appears to test his new skills. A coal wolf lunges out, growling and ready for a fight. These wolves aren't strong, but their speed makes them the perfect test subjects for his skeletons. He commands his minion to strike, eager to see results. A cataclysmic orb of blue flames detonates with overwhelming force. The battlefield is swallowed by pure, destructive energy. The skeleton warrior locks onto the enemy, shifting into a combat stance. The undead warrior erupts in a surge of hellish blue flame. Death itself is screaming for blood. The wolf snarls, trying to get the upper hand. He yells the command to kill, showing no mercy to the training mob. The wolf snaps back, but it's already outmatched. He's impressed. The performance is better than expected, and he's sure to hit max level in no time. With a casual flick of his power, he reduces the undead horde to mere dust and bone. The battlefield shatters as he stands completely unfazed amidst the wreckage. A lethal blow lands dead center. But our protagonist doesn't even blink. Total confusion meets absolute invincibility. A cold, calculated foot slams down, crushing the glowing creature into the dirt. Resistance is futile as the hunter makes his move. Even the undead aren't safe from a good cry. A lonely skull breaks down in tears, its glowing eyes shimmering with pure, unadulterated heartbreak. The world shatters as he stares in absolute, lightning-struck disbelief. He's completely blindsided by a revelation that defies all reason. Wait, something is definitely wrong here. He needs to check the skill window again. He reads the fine print. The skeleton has a deep learning system and can be set to different modes. He realizes he hadn't set a mode at all. Thank goodness it's defaulted to defense mode. A blinding flash of ethereal power erupts from the skull's eye. Death itself has just been awakened. The ravenous shadow beasts tear into the remains, leaving nothing but broken bones in their wake. Our hero watches in horror as the predators make quick work of the skeleton. He's stunned to discover there's a special action mode. What on earth is that? To his absolute horror, the skeleton warrior begins dancing wildly in the middle of the dungeon. He feels like he's losing his mind watching his minion groove. The legend begins as the title of King of Souls shatters into view. Brace yourself for an epic journey where only the strongest survive. He's gonna go crazy if this continues. The system drops a bombshell. Characters can't be deleted for 3 months. He's trapped with this account. He jokingly wonders if he should get hit by a car in real life to escape this nightmare. Why does nothing ever go right for him? He was so hopeful just a moment ago. This dumb, dancing bonehead is absolutely no help at all. He's at his wit's end, trying to remember how the pro-necromancers in his past life handled these idiots. The skeleton just stares back blankly, completely unbothered. He rereads the manual. The creature learns from combat, so maybe there's hope yet. It learns from combat? That could be the key to everything. He realizes that when he fought those coal wolves, the skeleton was actually observing his every move. The master and his skeletal shadow move as one, locked in a lethal, synchronized strike. Their chilling bond turns the darkness into a battlefield. A cold, lethal glint flashes in those eyes. The predator is ready to strike. He calls out to his skeleton, "It's time to get serious." He boasts that the skeleton is lucky to have a coach as genius as him. He drops a piece of vital advice for the upcoming fight. He tells the skeleton plainly, "Don't dodge, because if you get hit, you're dead." A bone-shattering impact rips through the air. The sheer force of the strike sends debris flying everywhere. He demands the skeleton go again, pushing it to its limits. Again. He's relentless in his training. The skeleton's eyes ignite with an eerie blue fire, signaling the awakening of a terrifying new power. It stands ready to strike with nothing but a wooden club, driven by an unstoppable, lethal focus. With a bone-shattering strike, our hero unleashes his fury on the undead monstrosity. One clean blow is all it takes to send the skull flying. The skeleton soldier is absolutely obliterated, smashed into the ground by a devastating, earth-shattering blow. No mercy is shown as the undead warrior is crushed into dust. He scolds the skeleton. "If you get hit, don't just stand there, find an opening and strike back." He asks if the skeleton finally understands. The skeleton awakens with icy, soul-piercing flames burning in its empty sockets. A grim new power has emerged from the depths. The skeleton growls, showing it's ready for more. The terrifying shadow beast lunges from the darkness to strike. Our skeletal warrior narrowly dodges, sparks flying as the clash begins. The battle intensifies as the skeleton begins to adapt. The skeleton warrior unleashes a devastating, soul-crushing strike. Its glowing eyes burn with relentless intent as it shatters its foe. The beast howls in pain, overwhelmed by the sudden counterattack. He barks at the skeleton not to get distracted. Focus is the key to survival. He admits that the last move wasn't half bad. The proficiency of the skeleton fragment skill starts to climb steadily. Level up. His player level increases, marking his progress. They arrive at the beginner village, Figus Castle. He sees people looking for raid parties and realizes that with a few more days, he'll be able to solo the whole dungeon. The real challenge is about to begin. Level 10 is the next major milestone. He's interrupted by a group of thugs in the village. They demand an apology for bumping into them, but our hero thinks they look like pathetic, third-rate losers. He sighs, wondering if he should just kill them and save time. The thugs are baffled. What kind of person sighs in the middle of a confrontation? The tension spikes as a sudden confrontation brings everything to a grinding halt. One wrong move could spell disaster for our hero. He tells them to chill out and stop resorting to physical violence over nothing. The thugs demand to know who he is, and he nonchalantly replies that he's nobody in particular. One of them recognizes him. He's someone important. Tensions skyrocket as a sudden, aggressive confrontation stops the protagonist in his tracks. The air crackles with intensity as the mystery man forces a standoff. He tells them to relax, acting like he's above the whole situation. They demand to know if he's with the other guy, and he says not really. The recognition hits them. They know exactly who he is. A display of pure, raw power. Those bulging muscles are about to shatter the limit. He takes a moment to judge their absolutely bizarre fashion sense. He realizes exactly who he's staring at. It's Mathador Shev, the top-ranked warrior from his previous life. He wonders what on earth this legend is doing in a beginner zone. A thug tries to make a move, but he's quickly shut down. He warns the thug to stay out of this since he doesn't know who he's dealing with, pointing out that the thug hit him first. He mocks the idea of an eye for an eye, clearly finding the whole situation hilarious. The battlefield erupts in pure carnage as he unleashes a scorching wave of raw power. Everything in his path is set ablaze by his unstoppable, fiery aura. He taunts his opponent, noting that since they just slammed a fist into his palm, it's only fair to return the favor. He prepares to strike back, asking if he should return the gesture in kind. A bystander recognizes him instantly. It's the notorious Matador Shev. He is the guildmaster of the Red Bulls, one of the top 30 guilds in the entire game. Known for his insatiable bloodlust, he has earned the terrifying nickname Killer Shev. Confusion sets in. Why would a high-ranking powerhouse like him be here? He demands a response, his eyes locked on his target. Absolute terror freezes his soul as he stares into the abyss. He's completely paralyzed by the sheer weight of the moment. He breaks down, stammering apologies in a pathetic display of fear. He struggles to find the right words, clearly out of his depth. Someone steps in, telling him to ignore the weaklings and move on. He looks up, confused by the sudden intervention. He coldly declares that he doesn't need any help from here on out. The rejection leaves everyone stunned and speechless. What a cold-hearted guy, they mutter under their breath. Frustration boils over as he curses his current limitations. The tension hangs in the air, thick and suffocating. Tension skyrockets as a fist clenches in pure, unadulterated fury. The breaking point has arrived. He vows that their next encounter will be different. He promises to return with a new identity. The silence is deafening as he prepares for his transformation. He claims he will be a completely different person by the time they meet again. A sudden burst of flames ignites the darkness, piercing through the gloom. The torch flares to life, revealing what lies hidden in the shadows. He admits to himself that the gap in power between him and his rivals is massive. Knowing Shiru and Shev are on another level, he vows to get stronger to secure his revenge. He sets his sights on a new goal, driven by pure spite. With a flash of lethal blue energy, the skeleton soldier slams into the beast. The battlefield trembles as the summon delivers a crushing blow. The undead warrior slams into the ground with explosive, soul-crushing power. The battlefield trembles as blue mana erupts from his devastating strike. The skeleton warrior takes down the coal tiger. Level up. It took 3 long days to reach level 10. Far longer than he had originally anticipated. The poor skeleton is absolutely crushed, leaving its master completely bewildered. The system chimes in. He has officially reached level 10. The training dungeon is empty, and his beginner status is finally revoked. All the classic game features like the map, inventory, and messenger are now fully unlocked. It's been a while, but he finally summons his status window. His stats have refreshed, and he's ready to allocate his hard-earned points. The system prompts him to spend his stat points immediately. He reviews his options, weighing strength, stamina, intelligence, and mana. He reminds himself that he needs to be wise with his first point allocation. A typical necromancer would dump everything into mana or intelligence, but he has other plans. He commits, every single point is going straight into strength. His strength stat skyrockets, increasing by 50 points in one go. With a total strength of 53, he smirks in satisfaction. The upgrade feels good, but he knows the real work is just beginning. He turns to his summon, asking what it thinks of his unorthodox choice. He hasn't given up on being a necromancer. He's just training his summon to be better. He explains that boosting his own stats won't change much, but training his summon will unlock his old combat secrets. He tells the summon to stop worrying and focus entirely on its training. He knows plenty of ways to compensate for a lack of personal stats. He arrives at the Raiders Association, Figus Castle branch, looking for work. A fresh quest board greets him. Time to hunt for some gold. The room is filled with noisy newbies fighting over low-level quests. He asks to see the list, hoping for something worth his time. The clerk warns him that the remaining quests are difficult and unpopular. They look like garbage, but he's searching for something specific. He scans the paper, eyes darting across the options. He finds it, the perfect quest hidden in the mess. Bima Mountain's cave. He needs to clear out the local monsters for a 10 gold reward. The clerk double-checks, surprised he'd pick such a low-value task. If he finishes this boring task before level 15, he'll hit the jackpot. He's hunting for a super-rare title, Prospect. This specific title is the key to his future power. Why is it so special? It's all about the percentage bonuses. While other titles offer minor flat boosts, this one increases intelligence and mana by a percentage. It's exactly what he needs to kickstart his path to becoming an overpowered character. A heavy silence breaks as a mysterious figure steps into the room. The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. First things first, he needs to sort out his equipment. He arrives at Bima Mountain, ready to hunt. A cold, murderous glint flashes in his eyes as he locks onto his target. The atmosphere shatters instantly. It's go time. He checks his gear one last time. The mountain air is biting and cold. He curses under his breath. He's completely broke. After spending everything on the skeleton's armor, he has nothing left for himself. He sighs, realizing he'll have to make do with what he has. At least he's finally out in the field. He vows to finish this quest as fast as possible to make some real money. A chilling rustle tears through the silence of the woods. Something dangerous is closing in, and the tension is absolutely suffocating. A blood-soaked hand lunges forward with lethal intent. There's no escaping this brutal, sudden strike. A desperate plea for help echoes through the trees. The victim begs for mercy as their health bar drops. A blood-chilling cackle echoes through the darkness. Something sinister is lurking in the shadows. A sinister trio lurks in the shadows, their twisted grins signaling a malicious trap. The hunt is on, and their prey has no idea what's coming. He laughs, feeling like the main character of his own adventure. Multi prepares to start his quest at Bima Mountain. He's feeling confident, wondering if he's actually a gaming prodigy. Suddenly, a desperate voice calls out for help, claiming a friend is injured. He asks what happened, playing the part of the hero. They claim they were ambushed by a monster they'd never seen before. They cry out that they've run out of healing potions. He offers a few of his own, playing right into their hands. They thank him profusely, promising to pay him back. The trap is set, and the poor guy has no idea. A lethal mace descends from the shadows, catching the unsuspecting warrior in a moment of pure terror. The hunter has become the prey in this heart-stopping ambush. He coughs, stunned by the betrayal as his health drains away. The attackers laugh, already planning how to use their new loot. He realizes too late that he's been tricked. He calls them cowards, but they just mock his naivety. They sneer, calling him an idiot for falling for such a simple scheme. A chilling grin spreads across his face as he grips his blood-stained blade. The slaughter has only just begun. The system announces that player Multi has met his end. His watch drops to the floor, prime loot for the taking. The killers celebrate their easy victory. They brag about how fun it is to prey on unsuspecting newbies. They scan the area, already looking for their next victim. The Ralph family PK guild is clearly up to no good. They let out a gross, victorious grunt. The skeleton warrior draws its blade as a pack of savage wolves lunges for the kill. Steel meets Fong in a brutal, blood-pumping clash. He switches the summon to attack mode. The undead juggernaut charges forward, eyes burning with icy hellfire as it closes the distance on its target. The mysterious warrior stands unshaken, ready to face the lethal onslaught head-on. The skeletal warrior unleashes a devastating strike, cleaving through the beast in a flash of blue energy. One swing is all it takes to silence the monster's whimpers forever. The skeleton levels up after taking down an ancient tree wolf. With a sword in hand, a pack of wolves is nothing but target practice. He knows he made the right call by prioritizing gear for his summon. A true gamer knows that utility always beats aesthetics. He doesn't care how the skeleton looks as long as it gets the job done. The summon stares at him, waiting for the next order. He tells the summon to keep moving. They need to clear this area fast. They march deeper into the dangerous territory. The forest gets darker and more ominous. An arrow whizzes past his head. A voice calls out, apologizing for the near miss. They claim they mistook him for a monster from a distance. He accepts the apology, though he's clearly wary. The clock is ticking on a blood-soaked countdown to doom. Time is running out, and the situation just turned lethal. He keeps his guard up, sensing something is off. A cold, piercing gaze locks onto the target. The silence before the storm has never been more lethal. He demands a mana potion as compensation for the near-death experience. They claim they're out of potions, suggesting they help him level up instead. They act incredibly helpful, insisting it's the least they can do. How convenient, a pack of monsters appears right on cue. They offer to weaken the monsters so he can get the final blow. He confirms the plan, pretending to be a gullible newbie. He waits for them to take the monsters aggro. He prepares to buff the monsters to make them even more dangerous. He'll accidentally send a monster his way. Let the games begin. The savage beast lunges with lethal intent, closing the distance in a blur of fur and fury. There is nowhere left to hide from those glowing, predatory eyes. He dodges, letting out a sharp cry of surprise. He barely escapes, his heart pounding in his chest. He wonders why they aren't moving faster to help him. The attackers are shocked. Why is his summon so strong? They realize his level must be much higher than it looks. They decide to escalate the situation and send more monsters his way. They think they have him distracted now. They prepare to strike the final blow while his guard is down. With a wicked grin, he unleashes a devastating strike that tears through the air. There's no escaping this raw, explosive power. A surge of raw, explosive power tears through the air. The battlefield trembles as an unstoppable force is unleashed. They stare in disbelief. He dodged it perfectly. If you're enjoying this recap, smash that like button and subscribe for more. A guttural growl rips through the air as the skeleton prepares for battle. He stands as a silent, bony harbinger of doom. With a sharp flick of the wrist, he delivers a calculated, bone-crushing strike. The tension breaks as he lands the perfect hit. The blue flames ignite, signaling the awakening of a terrifying new power. Death itself has returned with a vengeance. The undead warriors surge forward in a blur of blue energy, closing the gap for a lethal strike. Their unsuspecting targets don't stand a chance against this lightning-fast ambush. The victim screams in terror, begging for a chance to talk his way out of this nightmare. A desperate, choked cry escapes his lips as the reality of his situation sinks in. The atmosphere turns cold, heavy with the weight of impending judgment. Our hero glares at his foe, his voice dripping with cold, hard experience. He knows exactly what kind of snake he's dealing with. He calls out the coward's past, exposing the pattern of betrayal and greed that defines the man's pathetic life. He admits that, if this were the old days, those empty lies might have actually worked. The coward panics, frantically offering items and begging for mercy as the end draws near. Trust is a luxury he can no longer afford. Every word spoken is just another nail in the coffin. A lightning-fast slash tears through the air, claiming another victim in a spray of blood. There's no mercy left as the blade finds its mark. The notification pings, the player has fallen, and a mountain of loot is left behind. 8 watches. This guy was definitely a loot goblin. With the spoils of war claimed, he decides it's time for a fashion upgrade. Why look like a bum when you can look like a boss? The spoils of war are gathered, and the victor stands tall. A chilling grin spreads across the skeleton's face as its eyes ignite with a terrifying, ethereal blue glow. Death itself has arrived to claim the battlefield. The stage is set for the rise of a legend, and the grind never stops. The loot is secured, and the path ahead is clear. He surveys his new gear, satisfaction radiating from his frame. He's finally got exactly what he was looking for. He turns to his skeleton minion, clearly pleased with the result. He insists that in the world of gaming, looking good is secondary to pure, unadulterated efficiency. It's the stats that count, not the outfit, even if the outfit is pretty killer. Total silence falls as confusion grips the air. The hero is left speechless by an utterly baffling turn of events. The war watches are absolute gold mines, and he's ready to cash them in. He breaks down the loot. Rare pants, mana boosts, and enough options to make any player drool. From ancient tree swords to forbidden skill books, the haul is legendary. This is the ultimate jackpot. Thanks to this massive score, he's managed to craft something truly special. Everything is moving faster than he ever dared to imagine. He decides to record his journey, realizing that a strong personal brand is just as important as a sharp blade. A chilling realization dawns as his eyes widen in pure, unadulterated shock. The trap has snapped shut, and there's no turning back now. He hatches a plan to go viral, imagining a guild full of Haho masks terrorizing the server. The name of the guild is officially set. The Haho mask era begins today. With a cold, piercing gaze, the mysterious warrior prepares to reveal his true face. The silence is deafening as he readies himself for the fight of his life. The mysterious mask erupts with a surge of terrifying, electric power. A dark transformation is underway. A chilling blue flame erupts as the mysterious mask awakens. Destruction is only a heartbeat away. It's showtime, and he's ready to bring the heat. He rallies his skeletal partner. It's time to move out. The adventure reaches a new, dangerous level. Standing before the mysterious glowing portal, our hero prepares to step into the unknown. The adventure of a lifetime begins right here in the shadow of these ancient spires. The system announces his arrival, Bima Mountain Cave Dungeon. He preps for the fight, expecting to run into a pack of hungry blue werewolves. It's a tough dungeon, but with his new, souped-up gear, he's feeling like a god. He sets a goal for a 10-minute speedrun. He's got places to be and monsters to farm. The timer starts ticking, and the pressure is on. A few hours pass, and the calm is starting to get a little suspicious. A chilling chime echoes through the air, freezing our hero in absolute terror. Something unthinkable has just shattered his composure. He stares into the emptiness, bewildered. Where are all the monsters? The cave is dead quiet. This isn't right. There should have been a message if someone else had cleared this place. Is it a bug? Or something much worse? The predator reveals his terrifying fangs, eyes burning with bloodthirsty intent. There's no escaping the beast now. The silence of the cave begins to feel like a trap. Every shadow seems to be hiding something lethal. The system drops a notification. An instant dungeon has appeared. Would he like to enter? That explains the lack of monsters. He sighs in relief, at least it's not a bug. Instant dungeons are random. one-time spawns that lock down normal content until they're cleared. They're twice as hard, but the rewards are twice as sweet. The stakes just got a whole lot higher. A cold sweat breaks as his eyes lock onto the enemy with lethal focus. The trap is set, and there's no turning back now. The rule is simple: clear the dungeon or die trying. If he fails, he's locked out of the game for 2 days. A lethal gaze pierces through the shadows. The hunt is officially on. He steps inside the stage. There's no going back now. His resolve is ironclad. He just needs to clear this and get out. With a sharp intake of breath, he narrowly dodges the lethal strike. The hunter is now the hunted. The arena is cold, dark, and ready for blood. A coliseum? This is definitely not what he expected. Something is coming out of the shadows, and it doesn't look friendly. A hulking beast erupts onto the scene, forcing our heroes into a desperate standoff. The tension reaches a breaking point as the predator looms over them, ready to strike. A corrupted werewolf, level unknown, steps into the light. Corrupted? Why would a beast like this be hiding in a place like this? A colossal beast lunges with terrifying speed, leaving the skeleton warrior bracing for a brutal impact. The battlefield erupts in chaos as the predator closes in for the kill. The strike is fast, vicious, and nearly connects. A sudden cloud of dust erupts, catching our skeletal hero completely off guard. Something fast is closing in. The beast growls, preparing to tear its prey to pieces. He lets out a dry, skeletal chuckle. He's actually enjoying the danger. A chilling smirk creeps across his face as he prepares to unleash chaos with his blade. The hunt is officially on. He realizes his luck is insane. These corrupted monsters are tied to the main quest. He jokes with his skeleton minion. If they don't win, there's no loot for dinner. The stakes are high, and his hunger for glory is even higher. The battlefield erupts as the lone warrior charges headlong into the beast's lethal trap. Steel clashes against raw fury in a desperate fight for survival. The skeleton warrior strikes a lethal pose, its eyes burning with a chilling, spectral intensity. Steel meets destiny as this undead combatant prepares to carve its way to victory. The skeleton warrior strikes, but a lightning-fast dodge leaves the blade carving through empty air. The battle reaches a heart-stopping climax as the hunter narrowly evades death. The predator becomes the prey as our hero descends with lethal intent. He's closing the gap, and there's nowhere left for the beast to hide. He triggers a curse, aiming to cripple the beast before it can react. The curse takes hold, sapping the monster's strength. Demon's curse is in effect, and the beast is starting to feel the heat. It's working better than he ever anticipated. The beast erupts in a surge of dark fury, closing the distance to unleash a lethal strike. He activates the skill, Demon's Curse. Time to make this wolf bleed. The system confirms it. The target stats are dropping by 10%. He's actually surprised. This skill is turning out to be a real game changer. The wolf bellows in agony, sensing its own strength fading away. The fight is far from over, and things are getting spicy. The corrupted werewolf snaps, entering an enraged state and nullifying all status effects. Well, that didn't last long. It wouldn't be an instant dungeon if it were this easy. He decides it's time to break out the big guns he's been saving. He toggles the slot settings. It's time for a power-up. The air explodes as he unleashes a surge of overwhelming, dark energy. Power erupts from within, signaling the start of a brutal onslaught. Unleashed power erupts with a blinding surge of raw energy. The air itself shatters as a devastating force tears through the ground. The power level is off the charts. A massive dark blade slices through the air with terrifying speed. Nothing can stand in its path. He psychs himself up. All right, let's get to work. He engages Slot On, one of the Warlord's most unique, game-breaking features. With this ability, players channel raw strength directly from the Warlord realm to crush their enemies. The effectiveness varies wildly, but he's feeling lucky today. He pushes the limits of the game, testing his true potential. He taunts the beast, inviting it to show him what it's really made of. The Clash of Titans is about to begin. The hunter lunges forward, igniting his blade with a lethal blue flame to strike the towering beast. It's a high-stakes clash where one wrong move means certain death. The combat is fast, fluid, and absolutely lethal. Every strike is calculated to deal maximum damage. The masked assassin lunges forward with lethal intent, blade drawn and ready to strike. Every movement is a blur of pure, deadly precision. A devastating strike slams into the earth, shattering the ground on impact. The sheer force of the collision sends shockwaves tearing through the battlefield. He realizes the boss isn't playing around. Its speed and power are terrifying. 3 hits, and he's back to the respawn screen. The beast lunges with lethal intent, its razor-sharp claws thirsting for blood. Nowhere left to run as the monstrous predator closes in for the kill. A twisted, wicked grin spreads across his face as he prepares to unleash chaos. The hunt is on, and he is clearly enjoying every second of it. The hero unleashes a devastating, soul-searing strike. With one final, luminous slash, he shreds his monstrous foe into oblivion. The dust settles, and the monster is finally done for. He catches his breath, smiling. This is exactly why he plays the game. He asks the room, but the room is empty. A bit dramatic, isn't it? Whoa, did he celebrate too early? He'd completely forgotten about the beast's enraged state. Time to get serious. The fight is far from over, and the tension is rising again. He realizes he's not the only one forgetting things in the heat of battle. The undead warrior unleashes a lethal strike as the monstrous beast looms in the background. A clash of pure carnage is about to tear the arena apart. He calls out to the skeleton. It's time to use that special move they practiced. The 3-eyed beast awakens with a bloodthirsty howl. Pure, unadulterated carnage is about to be unleashed. The final showdown is finally here. He prepares for one last, decisive strike. The system confirms. The werewolf has been hunted. He deactivates Slot-on, feeling the rush of victory. Not bad at all. A blinding flash of golden energy erupts as the mysterious object spins into action. The power surge is off the charts. The cave of Baima Mountain has been conquered. The quest update pops up. Subjugation complete. Time to collect that gold. Ding! The skeleton warrior gains a level, and his fragment skill ranks up to E. He checks the loot, werewolf skulls, hides, and a massive pile of gold. Instant dungeon rewards are seriously broken. A necklace of the corrupted tracker drops. It's a unique chronicle item that boosts all stats by 18. A chronicle unique? This is higher tier than standard gear. He's hit the jackpot. He pauses, reading the name of the item. Corrupted tracker. Could this be the start of something big? 3 new titles are registered to his account. Promising rookie unlocked. He's finally getting the stat boosts he originally aimed for. Challenger of Heroes adds more stamina. Of course, solo clearing an instant dungeon would trigger that. Corrupted Tracker is now officially his. Wait, this is the intro title for the very first chapter of the main quest, Count Corruption. He realizes the significance of what he just triggered. This is the flagship content of Warlord, and he's just skipped to the front of the line. In his past life, he barely scratched the surface of these quests. Now he's unlocking them with ease. This is definitely more than just luck. If you're enjoying this recap, smash that like button and subscribe for more. The day fades into a haunting, golden silence. Something big is about to go down under this burning sky. Breaking news hits the airwaves. The Hydragillo Guild is officially entering the final chapter of the Count Corruption scenario, aiming to crush it in just 3 months. The screen is buzzing with the intensity of 1,000 suns. Jackpot? More like my foot. The competition is already miles ahead. Someone's already at the final chapter? If he jumps in now, he'll be left with nothing but scraps. What a total waste of time. He sighs, wondering if he should cut his losses and wait for the next chapter instead. Pure terror flashes in his eyes as the unthinkable reality sinks in. He's staring straight into the face of his own demise. The screen flickers to life, and his eyes widen in total shock. Something game-changing just hit the monitor. The world is obsessed with the Count corruption quest, and it's on the verge of being cleared. Everyone's eyes are glued to the screen. What if he dropped a video covering the Count corruption right now? The timing could be perfect. The madman ascends to his throne of chaos, radiating pure, unhinged power. He's locked and loaded, ready to turn the world into his personal playground. Good thing he recorded all his gameplay. He's going to edit it and upload it straight to Tube. He knows exactly who needs to handle this footage. It has to be the man who was known as the god of editing in his past life. The gears are turning in his head. He needs the legendary filmmaker, Roman. A formal dungeon clear editing request is sent off to the master. Level 15? Let's see if he can handle it. The editor laughs, scoffing at a level 15 scrub trying to make a name for himself. Probably just another rich newbie looking for clout. Is this kid really trying to flex on social media? How original. The request hangs in the digital void, waiting for a response. The air grows deathly still as she locks eyes with her target. A chilling realization shatters her composure. The muse has arrived. Roman, the freelance editor known as Hellmouth, is on the case. The sprawling metropolis stretches out under the cover of night, hiding dark secrets behind its glowing skyscrapers. A new storm is brewing in the heart of this concrete jungle. The city lights flicker like a countdown to disaster. A message pops up. Did you call for me? A video about the Count corruption just went live. The surprisingly interesting, a level 15 soloed a corrupted werewolf. Roman's interest is piqued. The team checked it, but since the werewolf's level was low, they didn't think it was worth the hype. Roman, however, likes the cut of his jib. A chilling smirk creeps across their face, signaling that the real game is about to begin. Whatever they have planned, it's going to be absolute carnage. He demands the footage immediately. It's time to see what this kid is really made of. Chai Sedlian, successor to the Thunder Group and ranked #1 in the business world, enters the chat. Known as the Queen of Thunder, she's a force to be reckoned with. She pauses, caught off guard by the sudden influx of data. How did he get this many views in just one day? The numbers are climbing fast. The video title, Perfect Corrupted Werewolf Clear, is racking up thousands of views. 6,000 views already? That's a lot of eyes on a newbie. It took him months to hit these numbers in his previous life. Talk about a glow-up. Roman reaches out to his friend, checking if he's seen the viral stats yet. Usually, he plays the mysterious card and never initiates contact. But this kid is different. He gets a notification. Red roses for you. He's tempted to hit the block button immediately. He can't help but wonder what the hell is going on. He's stressing about his next video, knowing he can't find another monster like that werewolf easily. The pressure to stay relevant is real, folks. Connection status: 950%? This internet is faster than his own reflexes. He has to strike while the iron is hot. Connect now. Herkin of Haho Mask, huh? The name is starting to ring a bell. His movements are undeniably impressive, no matter how many times you watch them. But why does he look so familiar? It's like he's seen this ghost before. A light bulb goes off in his head. He's talking about Herkin, the hottest topic in the game. Of course he looks familiar. He's all over the screen. But there's something else bothering him. Warlord is so realistic that new players usually move like they're walking through molasses. But Herkin moves with the grace of a pro. And those summons? Next level. He's itching to fight him. He wonders if the guy would ever accept a duel request. The anticipation is killing him. He gets snapped out of his trance. Time to stop blabbering and get to the live stream. He appreciates the help, and he makes sure the editor knows it. If he's really grateful, he'll prove it by killing it on today's stream. Over 200,000 people bought tickets. The hype is reaching a fever pitch. They're all here for one thing: to see the leader of the Red Bulls. And the 9th-ranked player in Warlord, Mathador Shev. The atmosphere is electric as a dungeon gate begins to spawn. The countdown to chaos begins. A chilling, confident smirk spreads across his face. The look of a man who knows he's already won. The carnage is only just beginning. The order is given. Prepare for battle. The Raiders Association Figus Castle branch is officially on high alert. He scans the area, but something's wrong. There isn't a single quest in sight. How convenient. He expected a struggle, but zero decent quests. Weed control? Lost dog? This beginner town is a total joke. Looks like he'll have to put his video production on ice for a while. With a lethal glint in his eye, he prepares to unleash a flurry of razor-sharp cards. The game is rigged, and his opponent is already finished. A stranger approaches, confirming he's the adventurer who cleared the cave of Baima Mountain. The word is spreading fast. My name is Hotan. Do you have a moment? A quest opportunity? Finally, Hotan has been keeping his ears to the ground. He knows all about the mutant Herkin found in the Baima caves. Herkin plays dumb, though he does remember a werewolf with some weird-looking eyes. Hotan's suspicions are confirmed. He's likely encountered a monster touched by the Corrupt One. The mystery deepens. They don't know who the Corrupt One is, but their influence is making monsters go berserk across the land. The Raiders Association has slapped a massive bounty on the culprit. Herkin is ready to hunt down the lovely, evil bastard. Wait, is this a hidden quest? Hotan tries to warn him that it's too early, but Herkin isn't backing down. Fine, if he's that eager, Hotan will give him a chance. He points him toward a mage named Ahimbri at Bangsu Castle. He hands over a letter of recommendation. It's time for the student to become the master. New quest, Teachings of Ahimbri. Reward, skill book. This is exactly what he needed. Pure, unadulterated rage consumes him as he trembles with murderous intent. He's at his absolute breaking point. Yes, he actually pulled it off. Is this even real? He just scored a direct line to Ahimbri. Ahimbri is one of the 7 disciples of the great mage Boken. Everyone wants to meet him for those sweet, rare skill books. He's a VIP, and Herkin just got an invitation to his doorstep. Maybe his rising star title really is paying off. If he plays his cards right, he'll never run out of content again. Everything is coming together perfectly. But first, he's got some housekeeping to do. A sudden, fierce gust of wind tears through the trees. The calm is shattered as leaves dance violently in the air. The system pings with a notification. Skeleton fragment acquired. It's upgrade time. He finally has a moment to check his loot from the last slaughter. He pulls out the werewolf skull he's been saving. The system asks, would you like to use the werewolf skull to strengthen the skeleton warrior? He hits yes, and the skeleton warrior gains the werewolf toughness +2 trait. Not bad for a pile of bones. Next up, the necklace of the corrupted tracker. Time to equip it. The item pulses with dark energy as it binds to him. His class-related stats surge. He's getting stronger by the second. Prep work is done and he's feeling dangerous. Another fragment added to the inventory. He's building an army 1 bone at a time. The power level is climbing steadily. An eerie blue aura surges as the skeletal soldiers suddenly manifest in the dead of night. Their glowing eyes lock onto their prey, signaling an immediate and terrifying threat. The forest is about to become a graveyard. He orders the trio to start acting like a unit. Get along, you lazy bags of calcium. He wonders what kind of cannon fodder is lurking nearby. Level 25 Forest Bear. Perfect for target practice. The monstrous beast unleashes a savage strike, slamming into its target with earth-shattering force. A single, lethal strike tears through the air. The hooded warrior unleashes a devastating blow that shatters everything in its path. The hunt is officially on. Ambushed by a sudden blast of power, our hero is caught completely off guard. Danger strikes before he can even react. He's got the bear's aggro. Now's the time to strike. The skeletal warrior lunges with lethal precision. One swift strike is all it takes to rattle the beast's bones. The skeleton's hollow sockets ignite with a terrifying, ethereal blue glow. Pure, unadulterated power erupts as the undead warrior awakens. The monstrous bear strikes with bone-shattering force. The skeleton is sent flying, crashing into the earth in a brutal display of power. You really think that's going to work? Aim for the blind spot. You idiot. Next attempt, and he's not holding back his criticism. The skeletal warrior leaps into the fray, blade raised to strike down the monstrous beast. Death descends from above with lethal precision. A massive beast lunges with lethal intent, shattering the skeleton in a brutal display of power. Our hero screams in sheer desperation as his defenses are pulverized. I told you to hit the blind spot. Why are you doing the exact same thing as the last guy? Honestly, the lack of coordination is giving him a migraine. The skeleton awakens with a lethal glow in its eyes, ready to cut down anything in its path. This bone-chilling warrior is just getting started. Wait, who was that? The skeleton warrior launches a blinding, mid-air assault. His strike descends with lethal speed, leaving the beast no room to hide. The skeletal warrior ignites with soul-chilling power, swinging its blade to carve through the battlefield. Death itself has arrived to claim its next victim. The hulking beast obliterates the undead soldier with a single, devastating swipe. Our protagonist stands unfazed as the skeleton skull goes flying into the air. He's losing his patience. You idiots! An ominous swarm of creatures descends upon the mountain pass, signaling that danger is lurking close by. Ugh, he's absolutely fed up. Do these guys even have brains? Well, they're skeletons, so that's a rhetorical question. Just put your heads back on and try again. He explains the basics. When monsters get hit, they turn toward the attack. That's why you have to flank them. If you charge them head-on, you're just asking for a one-way ticket to the respawn screen. He's getting more annoyed by the second. This training session is a nightmare. At least his skill rank increased. He can summon 3 skeletons now, thanks to the necklace. Every cloud has a silver lining. I told you to hit the blind spot. Why are you doing the exact same thing as the last guy? He really needs to work on his management style. Attack. Work together and attack. Can they hear him, or are they just rattling? They cost triple the mana and are twice as useless. What a bargain. Whatever. He hit level 20, which was the goal. No fighting videos for a while. He needs a break from these boneheads. Get up. We're training all the way to Bangsu Castle. He thought he'd be able to sit back and let the summons do the heavy lifting, just like a proper necromancer. Looks like he's stuck on the front lines after all. Oh dear, he's going to need a vacation after this. They arrive at the Raiders Association Bangsu Castle branch. Let the next phase begin. The game world is packed with players, but our hero is already making a run for it. He's finally out in the open, but he's not alone for long. The vultures are circling. They're desperate to know what quest he just landed. Look at them, they're acting like a pack of hungry hyenas. You can find these bottom feeders in every corner of the gaming world. Can't you? Heaven forbid they actually put in the work themselves. They'd rather leech off someone else's success than lift a finger. Our hero decides it's time to ditch these losers and find some breathing room. He's sweating bullets. If they find out about the Ahimbri quest, he's toast. He makes a break for the second floor, hoping to lose the crowd. The system confirms his access. Time to head upstairs. A random player tries to crash the party, claiming they're together. Nice try, buddy. Keep dreaming. He wonders if this hidden quest will actually pay off with some decent loot. He's planning to butter up the NPC, but he's about to get a reality check. His jaw hits the floor. What on earth is he looking at? Seriously? That's his secret? There's a complete dumpster fire in there. A stern voice cuts through the air, demanding to know his business. The NPC isn't exactly rolling out the red carpet today. Is this guy usually this moody? Or is it just a bad Monday for him? He plays his card. The name Herkin carries some serious weight around here. The NPC insults his gear, but our boy just wants the reward. Money talks, fashion walks. With a flick of his wrist, the NPC warps the very air around them with raw, crackling power. Ding! 2 rare skill books just hit his inventory. He's stunned by his luck. He actually got 2 of them. Just like that, the quest is marked complete and he's being shoved toward the exit. Hold up. He's not done yet. He needs more quests. Not a polite goodbye. He's practically begging the NPC for another mission. He's ready to do anything, he's officially desperate now. A lightning-fast grab stops him cold. The power dynamic just shifted. The NPC stares him down, daring him to repeat that anything claim. He's too busy celebrating the loot to notice the trap closing in. A new quest appears, and the reward is absolutely nothing? What a scam. His world comes crashing down. He's been played like a fiddle. A mysterious, armored warrior steps onto the scene, and the entire street goes dead silent. Someone in the crowd notices the gear. That stuff is worth a fortune. The heavy thud of boots echoes as the stranger prepares to turn the town into his personal playground. He's found the location, and he's not here to make friends. The glowing visor locks onto the target. Hide your kids, hide your wife. He demands to know where the masked man is hiding. The door slams shut, locking him in a dark, lonely room with his own bad decisions. He's just realized he got scammed by an NPC. Welcome to the club, pal. This egg quest is a total joke, and he's the punchline. He's questioning his life choices. Is this really worth it? A quest notification pops up, but it's the last thing he wants to see. He looks absolutely wrecked. The despair is real. The mob spots him. Time to run for his life. He's cornered, and the grip on his shoulder feels like a death sentence. Is it time to start a massacre, or should he try to talk his way out? He's hitting his limit, and the stress is at 90%. A stranger approaches him, looking for a little chat. He wants to talk somewhere private, which is never a good sign in this game. He's being led away into the shadows. He tells the guy to get lost, but the stranger is persistent. The mystery man calls him by his alias, and the tension hits the roof. The situation is spiraling out of control. The stranger offers a fake apology for the intrusion. He claims they needed privacy to talk business, away from the prying eyes of the crowd. Our hero analyzes the guy's gear. This person is definitely high-ranking. The stranger confirms his identity, leaving no room for denial. A white-knuckled grip shows just how close we are to an explosion. He plays dumb, but the stranger isn't buying a single word of it. The stranger reveals he knows about the secret quest. Our hero is losing his patience. Nobody likes being stalked. He dares the guy to put his account on the line. Things just got serious. The look in his eyes says he's ready to kill. The silence is so heavy you could suffocate. With a metallic click, the armor is fully engaged. It's go time. The stranger backs down with a forced apology. A cold smirk reveals that he was just testing the waters all along. He mocks the stranger for being scared. He warns him that he won't be so lucky next time. A hollow laugh echoes in the empty space. They doubt his skill level, but they might be miscalculating. They talk like they've been around the block a few times. A rookie mistake with the watch gives away his lack of experience. They're getting lazy, thinking the quest is already in the bag. They underestimate the importance of the egg quest at their own peril. One of them heads back to watch the post. They really need a hobby. A shadow looms in the window. There's a watcher in the dark. Two of them? This is turning into a real headache. They're definitely a coordinated team, not just random griefers. They're trying to bait him, but he's sharper than they think. The game is afoot, and the players are moving into position. Steel meets steel as a silent, deadly duel begins in the wild. The stakes are rising with every passing second. He watches from the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. His latest video is racking up the views, but it's painting a target on his back. He's being lured into an alleyway. Is this the end of the line? He's trapped in a loop of conflict and can't even post his content. Why do these weirdos always have to make his life a living hell? Dealing with Chai Sil-yin is already a full-time job. The secretary checks in with a report on the guild exams. She's clearly nervous about the outcome. With a swift grab, he takes the bottle. His patience is wearing thin. He's disgusted by the incompetence of the applicants. He demands an update on the masked man. They report that he's gone silent and might have joined another guild. Another guild? The shock is visible on her face. She promises to dig deeper. She better or else. The pressure is mounting as they wait for the president's word. Still nothing. The silence is getting uncomfortable. The game's success is the only thing keeping the president from losing it. He's a control freak who tried to force a marriage for business gains. She's ordered to find better candidates by tomorrow morning. That's an impossible deadline, but she's too scared to argue. He vanishes into thin air, leaving nothing but a chilling silence behind. Back at the swamp, he hasn't been here in a long time. The lizard swamp is as damp and miserable as he remembers. If a Himbri is at the castle, the quest has to be nearby. He's hunting for an egg in a land filled with monsters. There's got to be a creature type, and he needs to be ready for anything. Every step on the mossy ground is a potential trap waiting to spring. This swamp is the only logical place for the quest to be. He summons a skeleton to help. It's time to put those enhancement skills to the test. He reads the instructions for the helm. It's complicated, but he's got this. He activates the helm, and the transformation begins. The power surge is overwhelming. He's got new gear and he's ready to wreak havoc. He commands the skeleton to attack. He needs to see what this thing can really do. He's warned that the summon might lose its mind, but he's too reckless to care.